Meanwhile, President Trump's re-election campaign released a new online campaign ad accusing Democrats of being, quote, complicit in murders committed by undocumented immigrants. Take a look.
That's illegal immigrant Luis Bracamontes, charged with murdering 2 police officers. President Trump is right. Build the wall. Deport criminals. Stop illegal immigration now. Democrats who stand in our way will be complicit in every murder committed by illegal immigrants.
Are Democrats complicit?
Well, they're certainly not helping us keep the government open. They're certainly not helping us getting to a solution on immigration.
But are they complicit in murders?
Look, I'm not going to comment on that. I just saw that. I don't know if that's necessarily productive. It's no secret the president has strong views on immigration.
Well, you know that ad is produced by an outside group and not those of us in the White House.
Donald J. Trump for president is an outside group?
Let me talk about...
Wait. Donald J. Trump for president is an outside group?
It's not done. It's done from a political organization. It's not done from people working inside the White House.
Nick Confessori.
Go ahead. Mika. No. You know, Paul Ryan should know better, but he doesn't.
He doesn't.
I mean, Democrats have done ads with Paul Ryan pushing grandmothers over chairs because Paul Ryan was trying to be fiscally responsible and just talk about entitlement reform. Paul Ryan can't keep saying, I don't want to talk about that. There's racism, there's bigotry. I don't want to talk about that. The president's a racist. He's a bigot. He said this. I don't want to talk about that. He tweeted misogynist comments. I don't want to talk about that. And here, Mika, you have got Donald Trump's campaign saying that Democrats are going to be responsible for murders and rapes. And he is saying, I don't want to talk about that. How long can he play dumb?
I don't know. And I don't know how much longer the country can take people like Paul Ryan playing dumb, putting their hands to their ears and pretending they don't see what they see and hear what they hear and worry about what is happening to this country. This will have long-lasting impacts on every level. This is a president who is breaking down the norms of our society and is so shooting at the air like a machine gun with tweets and stupidities and bumbling moments that we are being desensitized between what is right and what is wrong. And we are accepting along the way racism. We are accepting less than the best for this country on every level when this president is accepted when he does these things. Nick, take it away.
Look, the ad is extremely harsh, but it's also extremely in keeping with the president's own campaign message. It's not a surprise. And Mark Short is a very smart guy. He knows all about outside groups because he ran one for the Koch family for many years. He knows that the campaign committee is not an outside group. The campaign is the president, and they are operating with his approval. This is the president's message.
Joe.
Yeah, well, and Elise, this goes out. Here you have this scene. It's midnight, Friday night, going into Saturday morning. There's a government shutdown, and you see Democratic senators and Republicans working furiously to keep the government open, doing everything they can. And while that happens, you have Sarah Huckabee Sanders putting out a statement calling the Democrats who are working with the Republicans trying to keep the government open, calling them obstructionist losers. As we see them trying to work with Republicans to get a deal done. And while they're negotiating, this ad goes out, which just shows, again, it appears that the Republicans, or at least Donald Trump, is begging for a government shutdown and loves that he has one.
I think that Donald Trump, at the end of the day, knows that he skirts responsibility for the shutdown, just like he does with everything. I was surprised last year in April. It was at the 100-day mark when we were discussing a shutdown last year. And, you know, in focus group after focus group, voters said that they would blame Congress. They would specifically blame Republicans, but they would also blame Democrats in Congress. And they still hold up Donald Trump as someone who's trying to come in and disrupt the system. So he probably politically is going to skirt through this fine, but the damage that he's caused to the Republican Party in the run up to the 2018 election remains to be seen.
Joe.
I mean, it's just they're going to get savaged most likely in November. And this only makes matters worse. Bob Costa, what is the mindset of the Republicans and the Democrats? I'm sure there's some Democrats that are nervous right now, Republicans who obviously know they're facing long odds already in the fall. Measure for us, if you will, what's your take on how both parties are feeling as we go into a work week?
Joe, there are two meetings to pay attention to this morning. 10 a.m. outside of moderate Republican Susan Collins' office, you will have a group of about 20 senators, centrists, come together and say, can they push the leadership in both parties to move forward at this noon vote and get some kind of commitment from Leader McConnell, a firmer commitment on a DACA vote, and then the Democrats come along. At 11 a.m., there's another meeting. The Senate Democrats. Pay attention to red state Democrats, Bob Casey of Pennsylvania, Joe Donnelly of Indiana. How much pressure do they put on Leader Schumer to try to get this bill, this CR they call it, the short-term funding bill, passed today to reopen the government? What do they really need to hear from McConnell on immigration in order to vote yes?